so that I feel much more comfortable using them. But like I said, I have no idea how much weight this particular trailer could carry in the real world. I could possibly look it up, but it's one of the few mods that has weight attached. But things like the MAN Kipper truck has no weight, but it's probably £23,000 truck. So if I could add £23,000 to the truck maximum weight, it would then start to act a little bit more realistic than having zero weight at all. Okay, so here we are again. It's time 10:35, so we're 25 minutes off the robot doing anything, which is fine. And I will... Willsron, thank you for the follow, and welcome to our Saturday stream. I am doing fine. How are you doing? Okay, we were going to magic mineral feed. Fresh maize stones, mineral feed. There we go. And we're going to make it, set 8,000. Go. We now have 8,000 litres, which is half of what we paid for, and I can empty that into the cow feeder. And then we'll do that again. Because I know that has weight, so I can't just put 16,000 directly. It will say, don't like that. Not doing that. And tip that one. So at 11 o'clock the cow feeder will come out and feed the cows. Hey cow, are you walking in the wrong side of the... Oh no. He was walking in the feed, where they eat their feed area. So, we will put this trailer away now that we've run the test. And we've got, what's the next thing we need to do? So we need to go and check on the John Deere. Kind of done with this tractor for now. We've still got 8 hours in the day, so there might be more work to do next time, but it's gone midday. We have done a lot of streaming this week, so what used to be, that's where the CD used to be held. Okay, I can park this next to the Massey, that's fine. Zoom. Okay, that's all those tractors dealt with. Let's go back to the John Deere. The John Deere thinks they're completed. Good news is John Deere has a lot of seeds left because we planted canola. So we're going to go around the field a few times and finish off the headlands, which is, yes, real world, wrong way to do it. You should do the headlands. No, you do the headlands last, so here's the right way to do it. Okay, I take that back. Now, there is a little strip along the edge here where I didn't go all the way up to the edge when I set the worker off. So we do have a row of weeds that we are now going to kill and fill in the didn't plant canola there bits. Ooh. Try and get it all in. As fewer passes as possible. I think I missed some more. Oh well. I think this edge probably needs tidying. I'll stick that back on cruise control while we save and look at contracts. We have fertilizing contracts. What I might do is go and investigate these fields and see if they are seeded or not. If they're not growing anything, I could use our slurry tanker to do the fertilization effectively for free or for no cost of consumables, and use up some of that that manure, because as I said, I've got a nasty feeling that the cows stop producing stuff if you run out of capacity to put all of the stuff that they produce. So manure, slurry and milk. So as soon as something gets to capacity, they all stop producing, I believe. So to avoid getting into that situation, if we can use up as much manure stuff as possible, it delays us reaching maximum storage capacity. Now, as the number of cows increases, obviously that capacity is going to be filled more quickly. And that will probably end up being a thing that we have to concern ourselves with later. Looks like I missed a bit here. Or maybe not. We have realistic exhaust, or increased exhaust smoke and dust. So getting down real low here can cause. Can't see what we're doing. Okay, gonna try and grab that corner. I think I missed that corner again. So we'll finish off this part of the head. I should have done the inside before I did the outside. We'll do a quick map check to make sure it's all covered. And then that's all the seeding we need to do for this year. As I said, there's fertilization contracts. We're not going to be able to fertilize our ground until the seeds break and we can actually make use of the thing that does the stuff, the crop sensor thing. That tells us, or tells the seeder, the fertilizer, the thing that you spray stuff or spread stuff with, how much to put down. Okay, we're playing Farm Sim 22, so Seasons mod is not a thing. Seasons is now installed in the game. Engine power off. Okay. So yes, I play with Seasons. I'm also playing with MaizePlus and with Precision Farming. So I tend to play with all of those types of things. This series has been going on since Farm Sim 17 on various maps. 17 we played on Norfolds, 19 we played on Oakfield Farm. And in all cases I was using Seasons for those playthroughs, the Seasons mod. But as I said, FS22, Giants decided to incorporate a form of seasons into the base game, which is switchable, so you don't have to play with it turned on. It's not entirely like the seasons what we're used to from the previous versions of the game, but I don't know, it's good enough, and in some ways prospectively better, because it takes into account everything. Part of the problem is balancing your costs versus your things like animal feed requirements. If you play 3-day seasons, then that means that since Giants considers a season to be 1 day, your animals should be eating generally a third of what you would normally expect them to. So Giants did manage to fix that. Originally their plan was 1 day equals 1 month, and you can slow down the rate of which you play with the time multiplier. But just before they released, they said, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to allow up to 28 days per season. But a lot of their help text still doesn't cover. It sort of says per day, and they actually mean per month. I think my diesel tank might be empty. My diesel tank is empty. Okay. Fortunately now we have a ton of money. So I think we can now make the fill up some of our silos. We start from scratch, and we are now into our 4th year. And we are now at the point where I can reasonably afford to do stuff on the farm that I want to. Up until this point it's been quite a struggle. I need to buy fields in order to maximise my income. I would like to have nice equipment in order to make things happen faster, and it's all a case of, well, you can have what you can afford. And so, yeah, we started out with 1 tractor and the equipment that we needed, and we leased a lot of it. Things like seeders and harvesters. We still don't have a harvester. Because we're running cows, we do have all of the, at least basic, grass equipment that we need. With the odd extravagance like the Anderson wrapper, the Anderson round bale collector, but everything else is sort of, this is a cheap mower, that's a cheap baler, that's a cheap rake, and those are just cheap anyway. Tedders are cheap, so it's not too big of a deal. Okay, I would say we are at a point where all the work that needs to be done has been done on the farm today. If we stand over here and speed up time a little bit, we should see the robot come out. Number 52, 53, 54. So for those of you who've never used this, as soon as that curtain closes, the stock of food is debited by an amount. The amount of food in the feed trough is incremented by a certain amount, and everything it does now is just a graphical, thing that's happening. The crane is going over, picking up all of the components. So picks up some straw, takes it back over there, little robot in there is waiting for the stuff. So this is all, yeah, you can sit there and watch it, but it has no effect. The supply of hay, oh good grief, we're down to 50,000, 80,000 litres of hay. The supply of hay, silage and straw, the bottom 3 rows, and mineral feed has all been debited already. We had significant amounts of that before. We loaded 16,000 litres of mineral feed. It's now down to 300 or 15 and 387. Curtain opens, robot comes out. The cow trough is already full, or has already been filled. Up to 287. If you sit here and watch this, and it'll run all the way down to the end and come back again. Don't park tractors in the in there, because they will get in the way of the robot and will stop the animation from happening. Although game save and reload, the robot's going to be back in its home. If we watch that going down, so we've got 60 cows. Wow. Okay, 30 of them small baby cows. We've got 30 productive cows, which are happy and producing an absolute ton of milk. I have over a truck's worth there. And it will come back and it will empty feed as it comes back, as you can see. Hope you can see. I'm running in high definition, so it fills that up. But you can see the food's not going up. It's 287,000 litres, and when it finishes it's still 287,000 litres. Get out of the way, the robot goes home, and then at 12 o'clock it repeats the animation and will transfer some of the base product into food product, and it's all good. It doesn't shut the door, so the cows are going to get cold. Well, the back doors are open anyway, so the cows will get cold anyway. But here we are. Yay cows. So, next time, I don't know about next time. If I jump up to March, April, we'll be able to plant soybeans in that field over there that's currently all covered in yellow stuff. We'll be able to spray fertilizer on the 2 fields that we planted today. We'll take further looks at what the land value of this field is. Quick run across. We don't own this. I would like to own this because it's directly across from the yard, so quite convenient to get here. The downside of that at this time is it's still go there. Farmland, go there. It's a little bit expensive. It's not very expensive. I mean, we've got that money to spend. I just kind of like to get it cheaper, especially when you consider this field is a little bit bigger and worth 50. Or you can current land value puts this at 57,000, whereas that one is 85,000 for less. These are at plus 75 over base, so ungodly expensive. We could afford that, but again, why am I paying 75% over the base, the average land value for the area? And again, for that. So once that comes down a little bit more, and it's trending downwards, I will buy this, which will give us a field of wheat. We cleared all the trees out from the top there, so once we've harvested this, I will probably bring in a plough and extend this field up into where all the trees were. We're keeping these trees here. Some of them are logging trees, but we'll keep those trees there. They're fine. But I kind of need to buy that field before it it goes ripe so that we can do stuff. That's actually an in-game fit. Well, okay, the cow shed. Base game, you have production, no animals, cows. You've got the basic pasture, which is just a grass pasture. You have to give them water and everything else. You've got the small shed, which allows you up to 45 cows. You've got the big shed, which allows you up to 80 cows. And then you've got the big shed with a feeding robot, which also allows you 80 cows, but it automatically feeds it. You can see the price difference is $500,000 for the large shed and $750,000 almost for the feeding robot on top of that. Now with Maypole, which is the map that we're playing on, we also get a large shed that can hold 1,000 cows and a large shed that can hold 1,000 cows with a feeding robot. The problem is there are concerns that a feeding robot cannot keep up with the food requirements of 1,000 cows, so you might need to supplement their feed by having a feed mixer. Since we've only got 60 cows, we're starting small, we've only got 60 cows, so we know that the robot is capable of feeding the cows as is. I'm playing with MaizePlus, which multiplies the amount of food they eat by about a factor of 10, but increases the amount of milk they create by a factor of 10, plus all the manure products as well. So it's a trade-off. We've got fewer cows, but they eat more, and so we have a lot of work to keep these bays full. And as you can see, we've got hay, 80,000. I desperately need more hay to go in that pod there. Straw, I've got 500,000 litres, and we don't use that much for a mix, so that's going to last us a while. And silage, we've got 171,000. So I am going to have to top that up at some time. And then you've got the mineral feed, which tips in at the edge. Boop, right there. Shred hay or shred straw like normal. We got 46,000 litres of shredded straw, which is the row just above the slurry. So slurry's an output, then hay, silage, straw is a storage for the robot along with the mineral feed, but the straw above the slurry is the bedding. Now because this is capable of taking 1,000 cows, 46,000 litres of straw is not visible on the floor. I would have to load that up probably closer to 500,000 before you started seeing straw. But yeah, basically what I consider the feeding robot as useful. I don't have to remember to feed the cows every day. However, eventually I might have to feed them fairly frequently. The other part of MaizePlus is if the map is set up correctly, and this one is, this is a pasture for that shed. So the cows can eat this grass and not use the food that the robot's creating. Now in reality what happens is this grass will grow. Current state is harvested. It's March the 1st. So April the 1st it will get to growth stage 1. The next month it'll get to growth stage 2. Now if it has a growth stage and there is insufficient food in the shed, MaizePlus will remove some of one level of grass growth from this field. So if it was at 2 of 3, it would then become 1 of 3. It will look at the size of the field and basically say, oh, that's good for, making up numbers, 80,000 litres of grass. So I will credit the shed with 80,000 litres of grass and reduce the growth stage in this field. Now, if there's not enough room for 80,000 litres of grass, say there was only room for 20,000 litres of grass, it would say, okay, I'll fill this up to 20,000 litres, and I'll remember that I took 80,000 off the field, so I've still got 60,000 to credit the food trough with. And then later on, as the food trough empties, it'll say, there's room for another 10,000 litres. So the food trough gets plus 10,000. The whole, the invisible holding area will lose 10,000 litres. So that's kind of how that works with MaizePlus. But since it's spring, we don't have much in the way of grass growth. The other thing I'm not sure about with MaizePlus and the whole grazing thing is how badly that might affect my precision farming. Is taking a layer of grass, or a growth stage of grass off this field, going to reduce the pH or reduce the nitrogen? And if it does, am I going to have to put lime and fertilizer out on that field at some time? But for right now, we've got liquid fertilizer in there. Actually, around the corner. I will buy 5,000 litres of liquid fertilizer, because I know we are going to need some of that. Seeds we're doing fine. I don't know if we've got any solid fertilizer. That would be that one. That silo's empty. We don't have any solid fertilizer. This only supports solid fertilizer, so don't need that. And that silo over there is the pig food silo, so don't have to worry about that. So anyway, that's where we are at the moment. I think next week is what, the 4th of December. We will probably be in April, spraying the 2 fields we planted today, planting soybeans in the field over there. I'll keep an eye out on store sales for the period of March, see if anything that would be handy comes in, and I'll keep an eye on the relative land value of this field with the prospect of buying it. But for now, I'm hungry. I also need something to drink, and so I will wish you a good weekend. Join me next week, and we'll see where the farm goes from there. In the meantime, likes and subscribes are nice to have, and I'm out of here. Take care, everyone.